welcome everyone to week 10 of the SmashPod. Here with my co-founder, co-host, Chris. How's it going?
Good. Actually, I didn't even get to tell you before we started, but accomplished a rare feat. I don't know if I've actually even ever done before, which is just finished an undefeated week in all of fantasy. So
Really?
I have 10 fantasy teams, sadly, 10-0, which has never happened before. My DFS league on draft teams I'm doing with the Sports Group guys got first place. And then even in my fantasy NBA, fantasy basketball league, won a hard-fought matchup. So
Wow.
with that many teams, certainly like it's one thing you have two teams, it's like only basketball season, but yeah, I don't think I've ever had like a, 14-0, 13-0, 14-0 week before. That may never happen again. So just want to take a moment to revel in it.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's really good. Did you have like I always find by like the midpoint and towards the later end of a season, a lot of my fantasy teams all seem to converge because I just always like I'm targeting the same
Yeah.
guys on waivers, and it's just like, oh, I really like this guy, so I'm just gonna try to pick him up in every league. And like towards the end of the season, I find like my teams all kind of look the same. Is that are you seeing that too? Are you picking like are these pretty diverse teams, or do you have like three or
Yeah.
four
I mean,
guys?
interestingly enough, they are, which makes it so wild. I mean, I think there are some similarities, right? I think, I mean, when you've got that many teams, like you're not going to have, all different players. So I got Flacco is probably a commonality across a few teams. Vidal is, although he actually had a bad week this week, so he was not helpful across those teams. Trying to think who else. I mean, I have like London on a couple of teams, but yeah, for the most part, actually kind of surprising how much difference there is. It's not even like I probably Dowdle I've been a couple leagues too, but yeah, it's not like there was some hot free agent I picked up in 7 leagues who went off for 30 points and carried every
Yeah.
team. It was just one where I walked a minefield in literally every league I was in, and I also say too, I don't really think there's any leagues where I'm looking at the score and saying, yeah, I got this, victory because my team sucked and put up like 90 points, but I went up against a guy who put up, 60. And I kind of
Yeah.
got lucky. I mean, every league, my team was also in like the upper half of the league, if not the top, you know, 2 or 3 scoring teams, number one in a couple. So anyway,
Nice.
I mean, it happen again. Certainly, a ton of luck involved. Even if the teams are all individually good, that's kind of like flipping a die 14 times and getting 14 straight heads. So
Yeah. No, congrats. That's a big accomplishment.
riding high before the fantasy gods smack me down next week, and I go, 2-12, and I don't want to talk about that. So, like
Yeah.
any gambler, right? You think they're always winning money because you hear about when they win 5K. You never hear about when they lose 5K. So, think of it with less.
Um, let's talk about the games last week. Anything? I mean, couple of things. I mean,
Yeah.
I love your so Dowdle. Has he won the job? Like, is Chuba
All right.
done?
Yeah. I mean, the Chuba's talented. I think they'll still use him off the bench, spell Dowdle. But yeah, I mean, at this point, Dowdle's he's earned it. He's their number one, which Chuba was such a. I mean, they're both feel good stories last year. So I feel for Chuba. I hope he gets another shot somewhere. But for my fantasy teams, it may be better if that's next season.
Yeah. I mean, Chuba was good too. Like, I had him on a couple teams last year, and like I mean, he's a good player.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Similarly, so Kyler soft bench now with Jacob? I mean, I think the coach came out and said Jacoby Brissett's going to
Yep.
start this weekend against the Seahawks. Now, Seahawks have a good, you're going from playing Dallas to playing the Seahawks, so we'll see, if he comes back, back down to earth a little bit. But is Kyler kind of done in Arizona?
Yeah, the rumors are that they're moving on at the end of the season. So I think, in the past, if there's a spell like this, they would have said, well, we don't want to ruin our young quarterback's confidence. Kyler's not old. He's not young anymore, though. I want to say he's like 27-ish. We're not talking about a 24-year-old, and they're playing better with Brissett. And so Coach wants to save his job. Coach wants to make the playoffs. So I think that they'll, at least for now, ride the hot hand. Yeah, if Brissett comes back down to earth, Kyler will get another shot. But I think that, without the guarantee he's going to be there next season, I think now it kind of frees him a little bit to say, let's just kind of play the best player and let's not worry about, the developmental pattern of Kyler at this point.
Yeah. I would say probably good news if you have Harrison. Um,
It's good news for me because I got Brissett. I got to my frat league as a my buddy that's a super flex, and I was drafting at the Cubs game. May have had a couple of beers. Didn't realize it was super flex, and wound up with Cam Ward as my only guy. Managed to trade for Hurts, but then I've been hurting at that second quarterback all season long. Flacco was a bailout, but Hurts had a bye this week. Flacco this next week, so Brissett was fantastic for me this week, and I'm actually kind of happy I get one more week with him. I need to
yeah.
make sure here. I'll check on the side in case we run over midnight. That I don't think I set up to drop him for. There's not a lot of quarterbacks on waivers, but
Hmm.
I may have put in something for Gabriel. Let me just double check as we go
Yeah.
here.
I mean, speaking of Flacco, like you got to feel bad for him. Like, I think first time ever in his career that he's thrown for what did he throw, like 460 yards or something? He threw for something ridiculous. I think he set
Yeah,
like a career high in
by like
yardage.
100 yards.
Yeah.
He played phenomenal. I mean the entire Bengals offense was pissed. I mean there were comments from Brown, from Jamar Chase. Everyone, the defense has been a problem for a couple of years. It's not like they've done nothing. They got Shamar Stewart in the draft in the first round. They just have not improved that defense. And it doesn't matter how good the offense is. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. But yeah, that Bears Bengals game was that maybe the game of the season. That thing was insane,
Yeah.
going back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah. And then finally, I mean, trade deadline. Uh,
Yeah,
Jets in kind of a weird spot, trade two of your big defensive pieces, but keep Brees Hall, keep Garrett Wilson. Brees Hall does not want to be there. I mean, he's been very open about not wanting to be there, but
you
they
you
kept
keep the
him.
most replacement level player in a way, which is like your running back, and you siphon off a couple top defenders. I don't think I've known what the Jets are thinking for a while. They're a cursed franchise, and sorry to new Jets fans watching this, but look, I'm a Sacramento Kings fan in basketball. I know the feeling. You guys may not be on it, but you may be on the Sacramento Kings slothful rebuilding path as opposed to the quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
one other little shout out too over in Raiderland. Well, they lost again. You asked me commonalities. I wasn't a free agent. I did forget. The one commonality I actually did have across a lot of these teams was the man himself. Welcome back. On all our TikToks and all of our stuff on social media, we told you several times this season to go trade for him. But Brock Bowers, finally healthy, just a monster game. He won't always have the 3 touchdowns, but I am hoping he helps carry a few of my teams the back half of the season.
and without Myers now, like who are they going to throw? Like it's
Yeah,
just
Trey Thornton. I don't know. Well, they're John Beck maybe gets an opportunity. Basically, a couple of rookies are going to get a chance to step up here.
yeah, but really good for Bowers. Like if you have
Yeah.
Bowers, you're in prime position there. So
Go play Tunnel Vision of Love on Bowers this week.
yeah, yeah. Go play Tunnel Vision of Love on Olaf. Olaf. Kind of same thing. Like who's New Orleans? That's an interesting game this week. They're playing the Panthers. I mean, the Panthers won. They beat Green Bay, shockingly, but they didn't look great. I mean, they put up what 13 point. They won with 13 points, something like.
Yep.
Um,
It will not happen all the time. Green Bay is a weird team too. Green Bay start off the season. I've always been up and down on them. They obviously made a couple of big acquisitions like Michael Parsons. They look just phenomenal the first 2 weeks of the season, right? I know, beat Detroit week one, I think fairly convincingly. They came back. It was like Minnesota. It was another pretty good team. They just smoked in week two. And I remember saying, I, I could be wrong. Listen, these guys could be like Super Bowl contenders. And then they've kind of gone back to their up and down ways. Obviously, had some injuries on offense. Another one with Kraft now, which is unfortunate. But
Yeah.
they're just a really inconsistent team, and I don't know what they do about that. If it's they keep bringing receivers. Um, Love might be one of these quarterbacks who's good enough to make a team look good, but maybe not good enough or consistent enough to really lead an elite team. So we'll
Yeah.
see. He may prove me wrong in the second half of the season, but we'll
Yeah.
be interested in what they do this offseason.
Yep. I will say, as an Eagles fan, even though we were on bye last week, it's probably as perfect of a week as you could have gotten
Yeah.
for being on bye. Lions lose, Packers lose, everybody in the division loses. Really, really, I mean, you hate injuries at any point, but Giants more or less are out of it. Cowboys lost to the Cardinals at home. And then certainly the Commanders, like losing, that was a brutal injury, like losing Jaden
Oh, yeah.
Daniels. I mean,
But listen, I'm not going to take these injury excuses. As a 49ers fan, we are now 6-3, despite the fact that we are missing our entire starting defensive line from week one. Both, two of our three at least starting linebackers from week one, about half of our starting defensive backs. And that's before you even get to like Brock Purdy and the, offense side of the ball with Persil and others out. Ayuk's still out. So, look, if we can be 6-3, I'm not listening to any teams talking about. And we just lost Mikael Williams now too. This is pretty insane.
yeah,
Credit to Shannon. And there's a reason though we didn't make a move at the deadline. I think that they realize that we are like floating and eventually going to lose to a much better team in the playoffs because we don't have any starters. And just giving
but
up
you
three
have
first round picks.
McCaffrey. McCaffrey's
Yeah, McCaffrey.
all of the other injuries means that McCaffrey is not getting injured, and he is just
Don't
dominating.
don't put that on us. We do have Matt Jones though too. We got
Yeah,
the Mac attack. Did you see the last play of the Niners game by the way?
no,
Sorry. I mean, I just registered. I saw in the box score. I didn't see the very end of the game, but I saw that I think maybe like a new, running back. Because I actually didn't even know this was a third string quarterback. But yeah, I guess we got a new third string quarterback. He'd never been in an NFL game, and like the last play of the game, we're up by two scores. Uh, Mac Jones was on his IG, but he showed me subbed himself out. He called over to Shannon. He subbed himself out. He let the rookie come in, and the guy just a kneel down, but. And this guy got in the game and got to do his first NFL play, which is a pretty cool
nice.
thing of Mac to do and pretty special for this guy as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You get yourself on the box score.
Yeah, he gets to stay. You played in an NFL game. It's like Rudy. Rudy
Yeah,
didn't go down.
yeah. All right. Well, let's get to it. Let's take a look at some cards for this week and put together a lineup. Um,
And
so,
oh wait, should we
actually,
should we look at last week first? By the way, I actually don't know. A
yeah.
lot of the players we liked didn't seem to do well. I actually don't know how this one went, to be honest.
Let's do. Oh man.
Oh God!
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're just week 18. You're gonna have. We're talking about a hat on a hat. You're gonna have a hat on a hat on a hat on a hat. There's gonna be 18 hats stacked on.
Is this how many
Wow,
is this at this point? Four? Is this already four hats?
I think this is for this is a masterpiece. So this might be
Fif-
the
54
worst lineup I've
points.
seen. Yeah,
Oh man. Aaron
the lineup itself
Rodgers.
is fine, but the worst output I've seen.
I
Oh,
mean, clearly we all bet like,
we both did that. Yeah, Taylor.
Taylor had a bad game. And you know, Ro- Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf was not the pairing that you wanted.
No, the entire card budget basically just set on fire. Yeah.
I mean, I even said as much. Like, did I really want two Giants on my team? It's probably not a smart play, and it wasn't.
Trace was a
So
little quieter than I was hoping for. I'm a little surprised by that. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, Pittman was your high scorer, which is not great, and then your defense was your second high scorer, and they didn't even have like a phenomenal game. So I was not sure. I
yeah,
guess Rogers, but yeah, this was a rough week.
that
So for
that
all
it
the B2B
was.
people, all our company people watching, Yeah, there's the dangers to the all or nothing cards, which look for 1 week is fine if you're in a 1 week tournament, but if you're in your your leagues playing with your company here, be worried. It's a great way to gamble on some big points if you're behind. But if you swing and miss, yeah. So interesting thing here is my lineup also wasn't great. I did hit on
But
Darnold.
you hit on Hail Mary. Yeah.
Yeah, league leader in 50-yard passes, believe it or not. So he was before this week. He hit another one, but he hit it to Horton. He didn't hit it to Jackson Smith the Jigba. So the Jigba had a couple of 25 yards. He didn't quite get over where I needed him. But yeah, Bam and Taylor, my running backs were all just, I mean, shoot, this is almost the lineup I would have put Hellacious halfbacks on. Taylor, Bam, and Gibbs barely got me, 11 points combined. Juwan Johnson actually had a pretty solid game.
Hmm.
Bagley, Jason was good, and then yeah, Darnold was the real MVP.
Yeah.
Good
Honestly,
base game.
if you take out Darnold, like we would only be off by like 10 points. It really was, you hit on Hail
Yeah.
Mary, and then Darnold had a much better game than Aaron Rodgers. Take out the quarterbacks, we actually had fairly similar lineups, similar bad
Only
lineups.
thing I'm curious about is I know you had originally like Kyler and Harrison. Obviously, Kyler didn't play. Did Brissett hit a 50-yard pass? Because if
I
you
don't
just
think
flipped, if
so.
you stuck with your belief in, I don't know if it's your belief in Arizona, your belief in how bad the Cowboys are. I'll check that on the side. Will you, if you
I
want to start
don't
with
believe
your lineup?
so. And yeah, Harrison had a decent game, but I don't think he had a long. I don't think he had a long reception. But
Check this out. Will you
um,
with your team?
yeah. Well, as you're checking that, week 10 is open. So for everyone watching, go and set your lineups. You know, go look at how you did in single player. If you're in leagues, set your lineups, and certainly, enter your lineups for weekly. Um, what we wanted to do this week was, we've been trying out different cards and building lineups each week. We wanted to look at some of the field cards this week. So the cards that impact your entire team. And yeah, we have quite a few. One of the most popular ones is Hellacious Halfbacks. It was so popular, we actually had to increase the price, which I know some folks were not thrilled about. But for parity's sake, we did need to increase the price. Hellacious Halfbacks was just so dominant.
Yep.
Um, oh, did you find out about
Oh
Harrison
yeah, I was
Brissett?
agreeing. Yeah, so actually, I don't know if it would have put you over the top, but almost the exact same situation I had. So Brissett did hit a 50-yard pass to Michael Wilson.
Oh, he
Um,
did. Okay.
Harrison did not have one. So yeah, I mean, I think that he basically would have matched Darnold in terms of total points. But as you said, I mean, it still would have been about a 10-point game. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you just stuck with your hatred of Dallas's defense,
Yeah.
would have been a little friskier.
Yeah, should have done that.
Let's see what you got
Um,
this week, Chris.
so this week I wanted to Hellacious Halfbacks has just been such a dominant card from the running back spot. I've always thought, that there was another card that's been underplayed, and I've been trying to make this work for about a season and a half. And so I want to try again. The card is basically the wide receiver version of that. It's called 2 Minute Drill. And basically, all your wide receiver and tight ends get that 75% bonus, and all your running backs basically get a massive penalty. So essentially, you want to stack. I think one of the things that people realize with hellacious halfbacks, right? You power up running backs, but then you downgrade your quarterback. Is people actually don't play a quarterback, right? You just don't play a quarterback at all. Um, I can't not play two running backs, so I got to play something. But you basically want really bad running backs. Is kind of the strategy here. So um, I put money, a lot of my money into my four, you know, uh, wide receiver tight ends. Going with Bowers again. I think Bowers he's that number one option on that offense. 3 touchdowns last week. Um, Even if he doesn't have that, I think he's going to be, he's number one, number two, and number three in terms of, on that Raiders team. And going with JSN, Justin Jefferson, I think, pretty self-explanatory. Um, and then I mentioned earlier, I don't know, I feel good about Olaf this week. Um, without Shahid there, again, I think with the Panthers, like it's not, they're going to be kind of in it. And I think this is a game where he's going to see a ton of targets and, he's going to be the unquestioned number one now in New Orleans. So at a cheaper price, I actually like Olaf here. And so these were my kind of my four premium positions. And then I kind of just went top of the line for quarterback with Allen. Took Bates at kicker, took the Denver defense. I think they're playing. Uh, who are they playing this week? Um, they're
Las
playing.
Vegas.
They're playing the Raiders. So, um, you know, uh, picking there, and then look at my projected points on my running back. So here, I have a zero projected points on Sailors. So I thought,
I
how
don't
am I
know.
gonna?
Although I don't know if special teams ace is really a team card. I'll uh, I'll let you squeeze through with this, given the amount of hats that you're wearing. But I do feel like some of these are stretching the boundaries of
Of the
the
team
rule.
cards. I'm trying to make a lineup where 2 minute drill actually works. I think we
All right,
just have not yet seen a good build for 2 minute drill yet compared with Hellacious halfbacks. And I feel like if you're gonna get it to work, you gotta pair it with special teams ace and roll the dice. That's the only way you're going to generate points off of your running back position while more or less spending $0.
all right.
Um, Sailors is really so. This is pretty interesting. Um, if you look at return yardage, basically it looks like no running backs return kicks for punts. For punt returns, basically they're like the first running back is Trevor, Etienne with the Panthers, and he's only done it 10 times and for 66 yards. So basically, more or less, it looks like no running backs ever return punts. Returning kicks, you do have Sailors as kind of the first one. And so it's like, yes, he doesn't return punts, but much more yardage here. You hope that he breaks off a big one, and you know, yeah, you hope he
Takes
breaks
your
off a
chance.
big one and you
Yeah.
hit special teams ace. Then I had again, Chris Rodriguez, more or less an afterthought up until last week. And then last week he had a pretty good, he had a pretty good week last week. I think he had 60 yards and a touchdown. Um, Obviously still, he's the clear number two. Um, Roll the dice is definitely going to hit on him. It's just going to be a matter of, how many points he gets. So that's kind of my thought process around this. A lot of the lineup cards cost a decent amount. So after this, I think I had like 2,000 2 grand left. So extra credit and then 12th man on Josh Allen were kind of the final plays there.
Awesome.
So we'll see. We'll see how this works.
So I think this could be a good week for you. I was tasked with doing home field advantage, which I normally do like, and then V for Victory, which is from our partnership with the Jimmy V Foundation, fighting cancer. And yeah, and so I think it's an interesting card. It's another one we sort of have to find a way to make work because it sort of equally helps you and hurts you, and it costs a lot of money. It's one that eventually may need some. We were talking about before this. We're on the fence if it maybe needs a little price tweaking or something. But I will say this week in particular, it's another one that's also, I think, week dependent. There are some weeks where the best teams are just playing the cupcakes. You can probably kind of say part of why it's a little more expensive. There's some weeks you can kind of say, okay, I know these 5 teams are going to win. Like, I feel great about this. Like, I'm going to pick their players, have a good
Hmm.
lineup. There's some weeks, and I'm going to say this is one of them where a lot of the games I'm staring at, and I'm just saying, especially with home field advantage as well, to not have those cross each other. How many of these home teams are guaranteed to win? And it's a decently small number. So
So that's the tough thing. I think if you were able to play V for victory without home field advantage, like,
yeah,
you
it's
know,
free to do a bit more.
Buffalo's playing Miami, right? Like I do not see Buffalo losing, right? It just so happens they're playing in Miami though, so like you can't, you know,
Exactly. So
same
I didn't
same
want to
with
take any
like
Miami players, even if I maybe like Riley Patterson's a really cheap kicker, maybe gets a couple field goals at home and gets a boost. But yeah, so you can kind of see it was a mix of who is likely to win. Makes me a little nervous with Dowdle in Carolina, but he's at home and was actually still fairly cheap, so I felt good about that. I'm not going to go player by player. I think the logic's pretty clear. I wanted players at home, and I wanted teams that I thought could win. I think pretty decent chance the Bears knock off the Giants. Indy, I forget exactly who their matchup is, but they've got a pretty Pittsburgh, who's been a bit cold. Could regret or Atlanta. Sorry,
Atlanta.
it's someone else is playing Pittsburgh out there.
I think
Oh, the
so.
Chargers. It's the Chargers. Right. So I got Gadsden from the Chargers. He's been playing really well recently, and their defense. So we will see. If I was a betting man, I'm betting on Haibo's team right now, but maybe the gods will smile upon me.
Which of the so really it looks like you're targeting so Giants at Bears, Falcons at Colts, the Saints at the Panthers, and then Pittsburgh at the Chargers.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
which one are you least confident about?
Anything with the Panthers. The Saints are
Anything?
not good, but neither are the Panthers. I'm not hyper confident in any of these. The Giants have been frisky at times, but they seem pretty demoralized against the Niners. They may just have a few too many injuries at this point. Scatterboo was a big part of that offense. Yeah, I think the Chargers are better in Pittsburgh, and they're at home, but that is far from a guarantee. And what was Indianapolis again? Was just Atlanta. Yeah, I think Atlanta. They're frisky. They got Penix back. I don't know. None of these are like Buffalo at Miami for the reverse. So
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
we will see. So yeah, come back next week. Go. So again, everyone watching, go and set your lineups, and yeah, come back next week. See if it'll be hat number 5 for me, or Chris will. So
I might
we've
put.
decided, right? This is if I win, I'm not subtracting a hat. You're just adding a hat. So
No,
I'm
we were
at
giving you the option of once upon a time subtracting one, but now that you're up to 4, I want to see 4 hats
okay.
on a podcast at some point and how you do that. So I think we need to make that happen for the end of the year,
All right.
and hopefully 5 next week.
Yeah, yeah. We will see. So, great. Well, yeah, good talking. Good luck to everyone listening, and yeah, go and set your lineups and come check us out next week.
We'll see y'all next week.